The episode begins with the 4th island on fire and the ground shaking a lot. The mayor quickly announces and tells everyone on the island to head to the middle of the plaza. We then see Yukito and Jingi talking to each other in the next frame. Jingi asks Yukito how he feels about this island, to which Yukito replies that he likes the island. There's a broadcast telling about the 4th island aftershock, and residents are to evacuate and follow the instructions. There are still earthquakes going around due to the 4th island, and we also see Yukito having some kind of awakening, or the start of an awakening. Momoko asks Yukito to get on a boat with the group from One Chrome, but he declines, deciding to stay with Momoko. A report from the 2nd island has arrived, and it seems like everyone is safe, and they have started the evacuation process. Another big earthquake happens and the people are evacuated. Yukito and Momoko are also present there. Despite the earthquake, they all proceed to evacuate. Now only the 1st island remains. Now we see the mayor being questioned about what will they do if any Ara Mitama appears, to which the mayor replies that the Ayaka security will be their last hope. Haruaki visits Momoko and Yukito and asks Momoko if he can take Yukito for a little. We then see Haruaki telling Yukito something significant about his birth. He says that the 4th island disaster is being caused by the fire dragon. Its power is running out of control because of its rival's disappearance, the water dragon. He says that 15 years ago, the water dragon's power diminished significantly, and it was his master and Yukito's father, Yanagi, who handled the situation. He slayed the weak water dragon and gave it a new form, a human form, and that's Yukito. This means Yukito is the water dragon. I mean, most people saw this coming, not gonna lie. He then tells Yukito to evacuate with Momoko, while Haruaki goes to 4th island. At the end of the episode, we see Haruaki at the 4th island, who is approached by Aka. Haruaki asks Aka to stay back, and they start talking about how their master died at the same place. Oh, and their master was Yanagi, if you hadn't guessed yet. The fire dragon suddenly appears. Aka goes in to attack the fire dragon, but isn't able to deal any damage. At the same time, Haruaki also attacks the fire dragon with a powerful move, and like Aka, isn't able to deal any damage. Both of them charge up to launch a superpower attack at the fire dragon at the same time, but they fail and Aka gets slammed to the ground. The fire dragon turns into an Aramitama. The dragon launches an attack on Aka and Haruaki, but Yukito saves them just in time. The battle between the fire dragon and Yukito and the others continues. Haruaki asks them to retreat and fall back, but they decline. They decide to cooperate to take down the fire dragon. Aka asks Ibara to take control of the kids, and asks them to stay behind and support them. Chatao and Yako are worried about their master, Haruaki. Haruaki asks the kids to watch their backs as he heads toward the fire dragon. Ibara asks Chataro and Yako to block as many attacks as they can, and asks Yukito to contain the target with her. Aka heads in for the attack with the support of Haruaki and the kids, and can deal some good damage. Ibara and Yukito also launched an attack on the fire dragon and were able to deal some good damage as well. They might have a chance to defeat the fire dragon after all. All of them attack the dragon, and Yukito's power becomes stronger and stronger with each attack. Haruaki binds the dragon into a place while it is taking a toll on him. Haruaki starts to drag down the fire dragon to seal him, but fails, and the dragon breaks free from the chains. Aka transforms and heads in to attack the dragon with the backing of Haruaki, and can deal some damage, but the dragon remains standing. Haruaki was about to send the kids back when Jingi appeared. Jingi was one of the few who knew the truth about Yukito. We see people who are evacuating scared. We are then told the stories about the dragon, about how the water dragon became weak, and the fire dragon went on a rampage till a lone hermit arrived, and at the cost of his power, he restored the water dragon's power, which made the island fertile, and stopped the fire dragon's rampage. But as the years passed, the two dragons had fallen out of harmony again, and how Yanagi raised the water dragon and got its power back at the cost of his life. Jingi's master grave had the spell embedded on his gravestone to restore the powers of the water dragon. Back at the fire dragon, Jingo asks Yukito if he wants the power of the water dragon back, to which Yukito replies that he wants the power back to protect everyone. Jingi says the spell to bring back the powers of the water dragon, and was able to bring back the powers, but at the cost of his life. Huge waves of water start to emerge from Yukito, and then the water dragon appears, and the episode concludes there. It was quite an insane episode, not gonna lie. The episode begins with Yukito and Lingi enjoying a good time eating fish. Then we are back at the fight between the water dragon and the fire dragon. The water dragon captures the fire dragon's tail and takes him up to the skies, where they have a fierce battle. Haruaki and the others put up a barrier to protect themselves. The kids are cheering Yukito while Ibara thoughts of the possibility that what if Yukito loses? Aka asks if Yukito will be able to return to a human, but Haruaki tells him that they have no way of knowing as they don't know what spell was cast on Yukito. The corruption that was clinging to the fire dragon disappears, and the Mitama starts to appear out of the surroundings. The fire dragon and the water dragon merge, and the fight stops. We then see Yukito standing with Jingi, asking him to stand up and go home with him, but Haruaki comes in and tells him that Jingi is dead. We then see Ibara and Aka, where Aka asks if the others are alright, to which the person available there replies, with that, they are alright. We see Yukito on the stairs crying, and Momoko appears asking him what happened, to which Yukito replies that Jingi has sadly passed away. It's been a while since Jingi's death, but Yukito is still super sad. I mean, it was his brother, so obviously he would be sad. We then see everyone gathered at Jingi's funeral, crying and talking about how Jingi was such a good friend and how Jingi hadn't changed since he was a kid. We also see the mayor being super sad. On the other hand, Aka and Haruaki are talking about how did Lingi find out that Yukito was the water dragon, to which Haruaki replies that they had found notes inside Lingi's room that contains the spell of the lay master who gave his life to revive the water dragon. They both start to tear up thinking about it, and how they are useless in the fight against the fire dragon. Yukito is visited by Momoko, and Yukito is still crying, saying that it was his fault that Jingi died, and that because he was so weak, Jingi had to sacrifice himself. Momoko tells Yukito not to take the blame as it was not his fault, and asks him to at least see Jingi's face again. The mayor then thanks Yukito was protecting the island and its people, and starts to tear up thinking about Jingi, gets up, and leaves for a bit. Yukito suddenly finds himself in front of Jingi, but that only lasts for a little bit. The mayor comes back and Yukito tells him about the possibility of saying Jingi as his soul is still in the lay energy. And that's where the episode concludes. The episode was also quite insane, not gonna lie. Can't wait to see what happens in the next episode and if Yukito will be able to save Jingi or not. Yukito runs off and transforms into the water dragon. Haruaki and the rest notice him and start to wonder as to where he is heading. Yukito then starts to feel and sense the place where Jingi is drifting away. Yukito can see the lay energy and decides to jump in to save Jingi, and that's what he does. He finds himself at the place where he last saw Jingi, drifting away, and is happy that he was able to be there. He wonders if the place he is in is a place where lives flow together, or if a single chain of life itself is the lay energy. Yukito now has to search for Jingi out of millions of lives there. Then a man suddenly appeared before his eyes. It was his dad. Yukito is wondering what he is doing to her, even though he died 10 years ago. Yanagi replies that he was here keeping the fire dragon in check until Yukito awakened as the water dragon. As a soul, he was patiently handling the fire dragon from within the lay energy. Yukito asks Yanagi about Jingi and if he knows where he is, and asks Yanagi to take him to Jingi as he wants to save him. Yanagi then asks Yukito to follow him. Back at the island, we see Haruaki and his subordinates. Aka and Ibara also appear there. They talk about how Yukito has dived in the lay energy to save Jingi. Then suddenly, many Aramatima appear, and Haruaki and Aka with the rest begin battle with them. Back at Yukito, they were able to find Jingi drifting away in the lay energy, and as they were able to bring him back, Yukito forgot the way back to the island, but Haruaki was able to find them in the lay energy, and were able to lead them to the exit, and they were able to get back safely and were able to save Jingi. At the funeral of Jingi, the mayor and Momoko are shocked to see Jingi alive, and the mayor bursts into tears. The next day, everyone is celebrating Jingi's revival and is super happy. We also see the Ayaka security and the Aka training, as always fighting Aramatimas. And finally, Yukito, Momoko, and Jingi are together. That concludes the end of the episode in this recap. This anime was a really good one. In my opinion, this anime had quite a unique plot, and the fight between the water dragon and fire dragon was also really good and well animated. The character design in the anime was also quite good. And I hope you have an amazing day.